All right. Hey, everybody.
Hey
Happy
there.
Thursday. Is it Thursday again? It is. And P.S. Day one of fourth quarter was yesterday, right?
Yeah,
October 1st. So happy fourth quarter, everybody. Isn't that hard to believe?
it's hard to believe.
I'm always amazed. So anyway, okay, are we live on Instagram? Let me see. All right. I think we're live in all the places.
Woohoo!
I'm going to try to figure out how to add Twitter to the mix. Like, I can't say I'm very in the know when it comes to Twitter at all. So
Yeah.
that'll be next. All right,
Okay.
guys.
Okay, let's go.
Woo, welcome.
I'm so
Welcome.
happy to be here.
I am psyched to be with my dear friend and colleague, Kathy Lowenstern. So happy. Like, anytime I can get some Kathy time in my life, it is a good day. Let me just tell you.
And
So,
same with me. Any Lesli time.
it's so
It's a good
great.
time. Yeah.
All right. So I won't go off on too big of a tangent about just how grateful I am to have Kathy in my world. And I'm going to share her with you all today. So here we go. All right, guys. So everyone that's joining us, I want to say hello, welcome. I'm Lesli Vitel, business strategist and mentor for integrative and functional medicine practitioners and coaches. And as you probably know, I help you break free of the one-on-one grind. We know what that's all about. So you can build a leverage income with courses, group programs, and scalable offers. On that note, before we delve in, I want to make sure that you all know about an upcoming free 3-day leveraged offer bootcamp. Okay. So I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on all the details, but I do want to make sure you all are aware. And here is the URL. I actually think I will copy and paste it and put it in the chat just so it's clickable. You want to get yourself signed up. It's free. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to pull back that curtain and share the secrets of how to make it happen. All right. You're going to walk away with an offer ready to go and all kinds of juicy content to share. So go ahead, get yourself signed up. Go to leslivitel.com/leveraged-offer-bootcamp. And I will copy and paste that and put that in the comments so that there's no confusion there. All right, let me do that right now. Get yourself signed up. And if you guys have any colleagues that would like more insight on how to create courses, memberships, and scalable income, I hope you will share with them as well. All right, so let's jump in. So we are lucky enough to be joined by Kathy Lowe, and otherwise known as Kathy Lowenstern, but we like the short version. Kathy Lowe knows. And today we have a great topic. It's very timely given the fact that we are really talking a lot about scalable income and revenue. So today we're going to talk about how you can use meta ads. I got to get used to calling it meta, to be honest, right? It's not quite clicking yet. Meta ads to consistently fill your programs and scale your leveraged income. And I'm really excited about this conversation because we have a few goals in mind. How to use meta ads to consistently fill your courses, boot camps, and workshops. A simple 3-step funnel that turns strangers into attendees. And here's the key part, attendees into paying customers and clients. That's the part I really want to delve into because, it is a concern, right? Like, am I going to do Facebook and Instagram ads and just end up with, a list full of freebie seekers, and we don't want that. So I'm really excited to learn more about this myself because Kathy, incidentally, is she's the genius behind truly the genius behind my list building efforts. And we as a team have been at it for about a decade. Am I right, or did I exaggerate that?
No, I think you're right.
Okay. Yeah. So we've been at it for about a decade, and we are going to kind of spill on how we did it. Oh, Kathy did it, really. All right,
Well,
Kathy. So welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Yeah. How's life
Yeah.
in Napa?
It's good, always good. So,
I love that.
yeah,
Haven't been
it's
to Napa myself. It's been I mean, I've been there, but it's
good.
been way too long.
Yeah,
So,
it's harvest right now, so things are really,
okay, that's
really
right.
active.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to. I've been thinking we're gonna have to do a little meetup
I
because
love that. I love
way
that.
too
Do
long.
it.
So we'll
Yes,
talk about
exactly.
that offline.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
everybody. So we're going to go ahead and hop in. So, Kathy, before we start, can you just give us a little bit of a background? Maybe do quick your quick
My
intro,
little elevator pitch of my
little
life. So,
elevator pitch, so
yeah,
that
not long
our audience
ago.
knows.
I love marketing and advertising. I actually started my career in packaged goods, as they say. I worked at Procter Gamble and
Mm,
Clorox, and they did advertising like the Mad Men way, right? With the agency and especially at Procter and Gamble, there was a lot of thinking and a lot of research into what makes great advertising, and that's
okay,
advertising that converts. And so I learned like traditional advertising and media. And then I moved out to California and I found myself in tech. And so I understand technology. I worked for a search engine and I was able to pursue my dream of being a creative jewelry designer. So, I launched my own business at like kind of the dawn of e-commerce. And so I use Google Ads really successfully. And I felt like my combination, my tech experience and my packaged goods experience really lent itself to success. And then Facebook ads came along, and Facebook ads were a huge game changer because Google ads are great for bottom of the funnel, like when people are searching and they're interested in something.
yeah,
But Facebook ads are primed for awareness and creating awareness and making and delving into problems. And so it was perfect. And so I learned to use that really well. And when I kind of came to the end of like, okay, I did it with my jewelry business, I'd kind of scratched that itch.
yeah.
Started focusing primarily on Facebook ads because, and I could go on and on about why why the platform lends it so well to advertising. Anyway, so I've been doing that, I guess, probably like 10 years now. And as you know, it's become Meta, so it's Facebook and Instagram. And so
Okay,
I help my clients grow their lists and sell their products via ads.
which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty cool that you can manage Instagram
Yeah.
and Facebook ads all under one roof, so to
Right,
speak,
right.
right? Which
Exactly,
I
right.
think is really super helpful. All right, so let's dig in. I always love hearing more about your background. It's super,
Okay.
and it's interesting. I love old-fashioned advertising.
Uh-huh.
I love how you describe it, like kind of Mad Men days.
Well,
What a
people
great
understand. They've
show.
seen that class, the series, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah, yeah.
there's the
It's so good.
client and they go see the
Yeah,
agency and, the agencies, you don't get to see as much of the backside of like what it's like to be the client.
yeah,
That could be a whole nother
right.
series as compelling as Mad Men, but people understand like, oh, okay, that's what happens in an advertising
Yeah.
agency.
By the way, great show if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was kind of my first entree into like binge TV watching. Let me just say,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like that was the beginning of an era of binging.
Right.
Um, and incidentally, back in my pharma and diagnostic days,
Uh-huh.
I actually used to go to, be involved in going to the ad agencies as well in
Oh,
Chicago.
cool.
Yeah, which is really one of my most fond parts of what I did back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
So I had some involvement in crafting the message and, rolling it out to the, regionally and then nationally. So I really enjoyed that, and probably has something to do with why I do what I do today,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
why I'm so keen on getting that messaging
Right.
down pat.
Right.
If you don't have a solid message, I promise you, it's not going to go well,
It's
unfortunately.
100%. I mean, even though I'm an ads person and, there's so much about it's such a great point, so much about Meta and Facebook and the algorithm this and,
Yeah,
and really, honestly, it comes down to the message. I mean, you
Does
can have
it
all
though?
the tech figured out, and if
Yeah,
you don't have the message and the offer, I mean, I say the message and the offer together, you're nowhere. I mean,
right.
that's all it, yeah.
It
That's
is,
the heart of advertising, is
it's
figuring out
the
what your
first
customer
step
needs.
that I take all my clients and students.
Yeah.
We make sure we nail that message. It's always step one. Sometimes it's not like the sexiest, right?
Right,
It's like, oh,
right,
come on, I already know my, it's more than niching, just FYI. It's way, way more than that. So,
right.
so that's always step one in the work that I do with my clients. So
Okay.
that all being said,
No.
tell us, why is filling the room, I love that, fill the room, such
Right,
a
yeah.
critical piece of leverage income strategies? So,
Well,
and I assume we're filling the room for like the front end of the funnel, like getting people in.
well, and it's kind of both, right? I mean, you have to have people, one, you're right, you have to have people to sell to, and then you have to have people in your course, right? I mean, it's hard. You can, especially in the beginning, have 1 or 2 people in your course, but ultimately you want the room filled.
Yeah.
And so in order to have a leveraged offer, there have to be people there.
Yeah.
And what's so important is that you have to have an audience to speak to in order to fill that room.
Okay. Yeah, so very important. And I would just say that it is somewhat of what I would call a numbers game. Wouldn't
Yeah,
you
oh,
agree?
totally. It becomes it over time. Like the first time you launch, you're just using benchmarks, but
Mhm.
over time you could start predicting like what your conversion rates are in
Yeah.
terms of people signing up. Let's say you'd have like a free webinar, a masterclass, or a challenge on the front end. How many people are going to show up for that? Sign up for it, then show up for it, and then ultimately convert into your course. And then you can start setting your own benchmarks and trying to beat those. But yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I love how you can literally start to forecast the number of
Yeah,
sales you're going to get
right.
based on, how many people on the front end of your funnel, which is kind of nerdy fun for
Right, right, exactly.
right? Okay, so tell us a little bit, what makes Meta Ads the best tool for filling courses, boot camps, workshops, especially compared to organic growth, like free organic growth.
Right, right. Well, obviously, free is always
Free we
great.
like, we like
We
free,
love
right? We
free,
can
but
afford
the problem
free.
with free is it's not predictable, right? It can be
Okay,
really
right.
slow. You are really at the mercy of this like unknown algorithms, and so it may take you years to build your audience, your list. That's where I like to start with, is
Okay.
an email list. Whereas when you use ads, and let's just say all ads, it's somewhat predictable because you're paying to have exposure on the platform. And so you can start predicting like how many times your ad is seen, how many people sign up as a result of your ad. So that's why paid ads is I think really necessary if you want to build a list or build an audience in advance of selling a course or a membership. Why I think Meta is such a great platform is a couple reasons. One, it's so big. I mean, there's probably like, I think up to like 290, 300 million people in the US that are
Mhm.
either on Facebook or Instagram every day. And so your audience is probably there. I mean, so I think
Yeah.
that's one. Two is Meta has really invested a lot in figuring out ads and how they convert. And so, it's unfortunately it becomes very technical and can be very challenging, but on the other hand, it can work really well. And the third is that it, like I was saying in the beginning, we were talking, it's an awareness platform. So, Meta's going to find you people who are interested in your offer or in your, even if they don't even maybe know about your problem
Mhm.
or they're not aware of you. And
Mhm.
I think so that's a really great way to get people who may not know about your niche, may not know about you yourself. Whereas let's say Google is the other, 2,000-pound gorilla in the advertising room.
Yes.
They're driven by search, right? So
Mhm.
if somebody isn't searching for something related to you, they may never see your ad. Now, on
Oh,
the other hand, they may be more warmed up because it's what we call bottom of the funnel. They already have some awareness.
yeah.
But with Meta, you really have the opportunity and you have just more tools at your disposal. There's more opportunity to show images and
Okay.
videos. And so I think that it's just a better platform to grow a business over the long term if you have to pick one.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I'm thinking volume,
Well,
right?
yeah, I mean,
So if you're looking for volume, and I'm not an expert with ads, but
yeah,
it seems to me that if you're looking for volume, Meta is the way to
yeah,
go.
yeah.
And if you have a tight budget, just saying, I think that would be the way to go as well.
I
Like,
think so too. I mean, there's just
I
so
think
many
it can
reasons to use
really
it for
run
small
you.
business. And they've really preserved the opportunity for small businesses to use it, where Google, it's not so much
Okay.
the case.
Okay. Interesting. I'd love to get a little feedback from our audience. Have you tried to run Meta ads? Have you tried Google ads? Give us a little sense of what you've tried before, and maybe what your thoughts are. What were the results? Did the effort and the output, oh no, drink water, did how did that work out for you? So I can say from my perspective, I've been running ads, like I said, I think for about 10 years now. And I have a very substantial list. And thankfully, my list continues to grow consistently. And I feel like I have a very engaged list, which is really at the end of the day what you want, right?
Right.
So, so Kathy, can you share a little bit about? I might be jumping ahead, but well, okay. I want you to share the secret sauce with my list,
Uh-huh.
kind of like a promise, kind of pulling back that curtain
I mean,
on how we did it. And
right.
then, do you want to start with that, or the biggest mistakes you see?
Well, the biggest mistake is the same as your secret sauce. And the thing is that it's really like the best thing. Well, the secret sauce is that you're committed to it every day. Since the
Okay.
day we started working together, you have advertised and built your list every day.
Okay.
It may
Yeah.
be different offers, it may be different ways you're doing it, but you always, even like in the dead of winter or like
Yeah.
when nothing is going on, we've
Yeah.
spent like $10 a day building your list,
Yep.
right? Even when maybe things were just, you're always building it and you're
Yeah.
always nurturing your list. So you're doing it through email, you're doing it through these lives. I mean, you're always have your hands and face in front of your list.
Yeah.
And so what I find and that's your secret sauce. I mean, it's kind of like eating right and exercising. Like everyone wants the magic pill, like how do they do it? But really, in the end of the day, it's that daily attention to the
Okay.
health of your business. And
That's
the
such a
biggest
great analogy. I think everybody here can relate to that, right?
right, right. I
Done. Health
remember
is
Leslie
done, one and
once
done.
told me, you know what it all comes down to? Eat more vegetables.
Yeah.
And right, it's like and it's kind of the same, like, it's like what your mom told you. But,
Mhm.
and so I think the biggest mistake is that people come to me, "I've got to launch in 2 weeks. Can you
Oh,
help me? I've got to launch in a month. I want, 100
yeah.
people to sign up for my offer, and, oh, my list, I have 30 people on my list." And there's nothing wrong with having 30 people on your list, but it's really hard to fill a course with 100 people when you have a really limited audience. And so
Right.
the right?
Yeah, I
And
was
so
gonna
the
ask you, like it on a really good day,
Mhm.
what would the conversion potentially be? Like if you have, like a list of 100 people,
Yeah.
what would be a great conversion rate into a course or a paid program?
Yeah, I mean, usually, like, the rule of thumb is 1 to 3%. I know everybody's different, right?
Everybody's
Is
different.
1 to 3%. I think a 5% conversion rate is stellar.
Yeah.
So and that speaks to especially if you've got cold people. Like, if you've got a list of 30 people or 100 people and they're all former clients or
Yeah. And they
right?
know I can trust.
Obviously, it's gonna be higher.
Yeah.
But, let's just say a cold list. But and that's what speaks to earlier we were saying these numbers, that convert even, like I said, e-commerce conversion rates are 1 to 3%. So you just need a lot of people in your world, you knowing you, liking you, and trusting you.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. And I will just reiterate consistency.
Oh my gosh, it is
Year round. Just keep doing it.
every single day. It's really just like brushing your teeth.
Yeah. Growing your list is your gold. I don't know
Right,
how
right. It really is.
it's just like
Growing it
so important.
and nurturing them,
Yes.
because that's also, you figure out how to grow it, you can put it on autopilot, it's doing well, people are signing up, they're
Yeah.
messaging you, etc. But don't forget to, and that's the harder part, is like, to your point, the consistency.
Yeah.
Speaking that to them consistently.
And it's providing value. So like,
Right.
we send a newsletter come hell or high water, no matter what else is happening.
Right, right. It's so important.
Seriously, no matter what else is happening, we send out a weekly
Right.
newsletter, and it goes out every Wednesday, no matter what.
Yeah, yeah, and that's your secret sauce too. I mean, it's adding people and speaking to them and
Yeah.
nurturing them.
So yeah, and the goal is, of course, to provide value, right? Give. Like, it's kind of like I don't know, I would almost say like 90% give.
Okay.
And maybe 10% ask.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
When I say ask, like maybe 10% of the time we're promoting something paid.
Right. Absolutely.
So that's how we have gone about, really building an incredibly huge list and maintaining it, mitigating unsubscribes, and really, really, really honing in on just the list. So
right.
I don't think I could possibly describe or just underestimate how important. I mean, it's just like it's in these kinds of businesses, it's everything. All right, so how do you go about, so like, let's open the hood.
Okay.
And how do you ensure the ads are attracting the right people? And specifically, I think everyone's fear, if it is a fear, would be, how are we attracting buyers and not just freebie seekers?
Well, it's funny. It's not so much that you attract the buyers, it's that you make those people who sign up into buyers. And that's to your point of nurturing the list. And I like to think of that as like almost like a lighthouse. I call it the lighthouse strategy, in that you're demonstrating your knowledge, you're demonstrating your capacity to help someone. You are, and by dint of that, and we've been all that experience, people are going to want to work with you. And so I think the first thing to make sure that we're attracting the right people is what we said in the beginning, the messaging, the ad itself, offering something that's relevant and that resonates. And a lot of times you'll see that in your click-through rates and then your cost per lead, because if you're putting something out that's relative to what you do, right? And that speaks to your potential client, those two, your click-through is going to be high and your cost per lead should be lower. And then the next piece of it is making sure that you nurture them. And, there's not some secret formula like, after they opt in and you have a thank you page, what do you do on that thank you page? It's really a matter of testing. And that's the other advantage of like continually emailing. You said every Wednesday, come hell or high water, you're sending out to your list, is you start getting a sense of what your audience is interested in terms of what they respond to, in terms of the open rates. So it's just staying really close to that.
Okay.
And making sure your message is on track.
Yeah. Okay.
And testing. I mean, it's always testing, testing new offers, testing your messages.
Okay. So, all right. So testing, when I think about testing, it sounds a little overwhelming.
Right. And and it can be. I mean, that's the other thing that, I don't talk a lot about. What I do with Facebook ads is Facebook ads, because you can get so much data so quickly, you can actually run message tests. And that's a separate service that I offer my clients, that we can test pain points, we can test desires, we can test headlines, we can test offers. And so someone like with you, like I'll do that in the background in order to strengthen an ad or a headline.
Interesting. Yeah.
You call, like, for instance, we were looking at different options for a summit a while ago, and we did message testing to figure out what was the what was potentially the most compelling headline.
Okay. Can you get like, what did that look like? Can you delve into that a little bit more?
Yeah. So it's really interesting is that I create, I mean, it's pretty simple, but I create, let's say we're looking at pain points. I'll take a
Yeah.
list of like 20 different pain points and
Mhm.
I'll create those as ads. And I run that and I run it as ads for a specified period of time. We've got like, and I've got some benchmarks and it usually takes like 24 hours. And I've got some benchmarks to figure out, you know, is this compelling? Is this not? As well as ranking them against each other. And then, you know, and
Okay.
then we start. So that's the, you know, the pain point. We can do it with desires, headlines. We can actually do it with the offer too. And then we can do a whole nother set of testing, really bulletproof testing the offer in terms of all the you know, what the offer is, the price point, this, you know, the different support, you know, head or sub points for that.
Okay. Yeah. So those kinds of tasks,
Yeah.
I got like I know that we did testing to come up with, and guys, just so you know what we're talking about, the last couple of years I've done a pretty large scale summit with
Very
full
big.
as my partner.
Very big.
Very big, right?
It's
And
been really impressive.
fingers crossed, I'm waiting to get approval for the third summit. So hopefully
cool.
more on that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's hopefully going to happen soon. Full Script is just so huge now. It you know, it takes a little time to go through all the different levels and layers to get approval.
Right.
But so that all being said, I knew we were testing different concepts.
Right. And so we did that to get the concepts.
Yeah. So, which is so helpful because it really helped us to nail, what do you all want? Like, what is compelling?
Right.
Because I didn't want to just shoot in the dark and be like, oh, this didn't land, you know?
Right, exactly. And that's the great thing about this message testing is that, I mean, it is that gives you a really good sense really quickly and for pretty low costs in terms of what your audience wants and what will resonate. And then you take that and you continue to refine it as you run ads and you're getting, but at least you have a starting place.
Okay. And this is something that you do for your clients.
Yeah, I do that for my clients.
Okay, awesome. And I do want to just mention, we'll talk about this a little bit more in depth here in a few minutes, but just while we're on the topic, if you are looking for someone to help you to maximize ads, Kathy is the only person I would ever have do this for me. Seriously. Yeah. So I would not entrust anyone else with this for a multitude of reasons that I won't go into, but hopefully that all makes sense. So the bottom line is, if you're interested in learning more, you can go let Kathy know that where you learned about her services. Let her know it was from
for sure.
my show. And what are you offering as a special bonus for my people?
Yeah, I can do a free audit of your ads.
Okay.
So if you run ads, I can take a look at that. I can do an audit. And if you haven't, I can do like a forecast of what I think you should do or what could be done.
Ooh, awesome. Okay, so make sure you let her know. I just realized I had Zoom open. That's a big no-no.
Oh, yeah.
You know, okay, too many things open. Hopefully that's not impacting the quality. Okay. All right. So let's keep going then. Can you walk us through like a simple micro funnel from like an ad click to maybe the event attendance, or maybe even down the line to actually purchasing something? What does that look like?
So, we start with the ad. The ad takes you to a landing page with the offer on it. So let's say it's in a webinar or a masterclass. They sign up, they get a thank you page. And that is your golden opportunity to do two things: to warm them up and get them excited because you want them to show up. And something that you do is you offer them an upgrade. You offer them like right now we have a VIP experience for
Okay.
the challenge. So, but that's a great place you could be a VIP experience. It can be an upsell, but at the very least, you just want them really excited to attend the event. And then the next piece is you've got to have that email. You've got to have that email sequence in place in
Okay.
order
Yeah,
to
talk
continue
about
to remind them. You can't overdo that. I know it just feels like, oh my God, I'm bothering them, but
yeah.
you're not, because
So many people
everybody's
get freaked
busy and
out.
they're not nearly as focused on the event as you are. So that's really key. And I would add in some organic pieces in there, and maybe even some ads to remind people.
Okay.
And then you have the event, right? And that's where like email, and if you're doing text, is really important to keep people energized, excited, and remind them. And then the sales piece. And there's a couple ways to do that. One is, I mean, you may have the offer in a cart on the page, or like sometimes you have it where it's there's a sales call, you book a call. And again, you've got to really use email as like the biggest lever right now. And maybe I'd say it's like 80 to 90% email and 10% social, in order to get people excited and keep them engaged.
Okay, so I think what you're saying is once someone sees the ad, they click it, they sign up for the thing,
Right.
whatever that might be, like a webinar, and the thing is usually free, right?
Right. Yeah, that's usually for,
Okay.
you may want to try like like if you did a low priced masterclass, like $3, $7. I've seen
Okay.
those
Is
work.
that kind of because I'm seeing, yeah, I hear like, you know, $47 first
I've
step.
seen bigger one, like for people that are more well known, if you're
Yeah.
established, or if there's something along with it, like if there's something physical with it. I
Okay.
think you could
Maybe
try.
a workbook
Yeah,
or
book or
like
kit.
a little.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I love that language.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's worth testing. You may not
Okay.
get as many people signing up, but the smaller group may be more serious. It's hard to say, right? And every niche and every individual is different too.
Okay. So we have to test. Now,
Always be
do we
testing.
test before we create the thing
Well, you're kind of I
or
think you could do both. You could do a beta program and test it, right? And offer it, that's one way to do it. Another way is testing, is you're just gonna do it and you're just gonna see, right?
okay.
So, or
It
you
is
do the
it
free
is
one
kind of a lot
first.
of effort to create the thing.
Yeah.
Let's just call it, right?
Yeah, no, it's true. And so
A
maybe you
lot
do a
of effort to
minimum.
create it. If you have to pay someone to make it look pretty, you have to pay,
Yeah.
maybe a landing page to create like depending on where you are with the tech, like it's an investment.
It
So
is, and so
and I'm kind of in this boat, right?
we
Where
always are, right?
do we test? Can we test the concept before we invest all that time, money, and effort into creating the thing? Or what are your thoughts?
I think you have to go. It's a really good question. And it's like one of these decisions as a business maker, like where do you take as a business owner,
Yeah.
what kind of risk do you want to take? I'm a big fan of minimum viable product, right? Test it, and test it plain and ugly, if you will. And,
Okay.
and that could be a beta. A lot of times I see a lot of like, this is, we're testing this out. It's the first round. Therefore, a lot of times people use price as a way to attract people if it's not completely fleshed out yet, or it's not
Okay.
as pretty as it will. Or your people on your list, only they get an opportunity to join it. So, but yeah,
Okay.
I would test bare bones is how I would
Okay.
mitigate that cost.
Okay.
Because I
So
think
like
if it's good, I think if it resonates, it doesn't necessarily have to have all the bells and whistles and look really flashy. Like, I think you
okay.
could do it. There's enough, if you will, user generated content out there that people are
Yeah.
used to seeing.
Okay.
It doesn't have to look like super slick in order to sell.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Like I've seen sales pages on a Google Doc.
Right. Exact. I mean,
I
I
always
think
like, oh my God, I never would have thought of that. But hey, it kind of makes sense if you want to test something before like I certainly don't have the ability to do the tech to do that, to create a sales page. So it kind of makes sense in a way.
that, and I remember, I think one of the courses, the first course we met in was through, she did it through MailChimp. She sent all the content through MailChimp.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dang. You mean when you and I met?
I think we met previously. That's how the course first started. It was just through MailChimp, and she'd
Oh,
send the workbooks via MailChimp.
oh yeah. I think you're right. So like very kind of shoestring budget,
You could
right?
do it on, I mean, you could do things, but now, I mean, that was 10 years ago, but
Yeah.
Slack, right? You could have your course on Slack. You could have it in Facebook groups. Like, it doesn't have to be like super fancy and
Yeah.
super, to your
Well,
point, it can be a
I
Google
would
Doc.
say many people, I don't want to say everybody, but many people use an EMR nowadays. So they're
Right,
already paying for a platform. And
right,
what I love about that is, of course, the platforms were not created to house courses, but they kind of reverse engineer, they saw a need and they
right,
reverse
exactly.
engineered and made it happen.
Right, and so I think there's so many creative ways to do it that
Yeah,
don't take a lot of tech and don't need to, and you don't want to make it too complicated if you're still starting out, because that's where all the things can break.
exactly. So true. So, all right. So, can you just kind of reiterate what happens after the event? How do you keep the momentum going so that these attendees actually become
They
paying?
buy, and that's the nurturing piece. I mean,
Okay.
and it's so similar. That's why, like, also building your list and nurturing your list every day, you get good at it. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't realize it, but you're strengthening those muscles because, to be able to then nurture someone to buy is a much stronger muscle. I mean, that's the next level. And so it's really important to stay in with those people, whether it's through emails, whether it's making yourself available for private calls in order to, make someone feel more comfortable.
Mhm.
So, and then it's realizing, you know what, if someone doesn't buy this time, they're primed to buy next time.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, is I think sometimes people get so hung up on, like, especially when they first starting out, on their numbers, and I didn't make my goals. And I think really what you want to do is you want to look at this as an ongoing business. And if somebody was interested, people get close, but they don't buy this time, there's always next time. And
Mhm.
so really think about that, continuing to nurture that client.
Oh, so important.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I that happens to me regularly
I'm sure,
where,
right?
someone, got on my list, or like this happens all the time where, oh, I met
Yeah.
you at Fancy like 5 years ago, you know?
Right, right, right. No, it's so true. And the other thing is, you don't realize it. I'm sure, Leslie, you've gone through this, but
Yeah,
I know I did, like, or I have, is that you get so much better at selling without even realizing it. So
yeah,
every time you pitch your offer, whether it's on a webinar or on a one-on-one call, you're just you're subconsciously figuring out how to do it.
yeah.
So that's why, like, I know there's someone who recommends doing a webinar once a week, every week for a year before you nail that webinar and make it evergreen. And it's because you've done it 52 times,
Yeah.
you don't know how and you don't know when, but you
Wow.
really will figure it out.
Oh, that's such a great tip. That's kind of a
Yeah.
golden nugget. Okay.
I'm
Did I hear
working
you
with someone
say
who's
do a
committed to that. She's
webinar?
done 2 and she's got 50 more to go, and she's
Do a
gonna do.
webinar every week for a year?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, did you hear that? Like, okay, I gotta say, I don't want to go too much off on a tangent,
But
but
it'll
sometimes I do hear, well, Leslie, I tried that and it didn't work.
yeah,
Okay,
right.
how many times? And instead, so I hope you all take this as encouragement.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we do not want to waste time with stuff that doesn't work.
Right, right.
Okay, to be clear, because you only have so much time in a day, but things like webinars, I don't know about you guys, but let me just say, I used to struggle. Like I would do, talks when I had my nutrition practice, and I'd be like, well, I rarely got anything out of it. So part of it is the content and the strategy, to be clear. And as practitioners, we all tend to over deliver.
Right.
Share everything we possibly know about a topic, and then we leave and we wonder why we didn't get a client out of it.
Right,
Okay,
right.
I do want to point out the strategy is just so huge. Okay, so to be clear, but that all being said, I hope you all like consider this. Pick a couple of things that you're pretty sure are worth your time and effort, and keep at it instead of just trying it once or twice and saying, it didn't work, I'm moving on.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Online webinars and talks, I really think can move the needle, but you do need to keep at it, right? Like do it more than once, guys.
Or 5 times. I mean, the thing is that
going.
you figure out how to sell and sell subconsciously. It's not like you get on, okay, just buy, right?
Yeah.
You figure out how to deliver the information. You figure out what is compelling. You figure out what questions people have in anticipation of what they're going to have, and how to deliver the program in such a way that it meets their needs. And sometimes it really does just happen kind of subconsciously and organically.
It does.
Because you're doing it and you're getting more comfortable and you're getting more. And the other thing is you're becoming so much more confident, and people sense that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, confidence is just so critical.
Right. And you've done it 52 times. You know it, and you can help someone.
It's so
and it
true.
comes across.
I do. I just have to say on that note, I remember, in my early days, I really was that person. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but I was that person.
Yeah.
I could not talk off the cuff.
Really? You're so good now.
Oh my God. It is a product of just making myself do it. No, I swear I just couldn't. I was like, I couldn't do it. I had to have things scripted. And it was.
And now you're just like,
oh, I could
a video
every day.
Right.
Bring it on. Like,
right.
My daughter's always like, I cannot believe how much you can talk to people. Like, but I don't know. It wasn't always that way. So doing live streams, I think I've shared this story before. You remember when I first started, Kathy? You were there right there with me. I was like, okay,
so good.
I need to do this. I really don't want to. Like, what the hell am I going to say? Is really
right.
Oh my God, I can't even tell you. I could not push the go live. It was a hot mess. Let me just say.
Yeah.
I hired a really expensive coach.
Okay.
Who just made me do it. That's it. Like,
really?
just made me do it. And like, yeah. So, because I knew I wanted to do it, but I really had some serious hangups about it.
Wow.
And I had to have things scripted, and oh my God. So anyway, here we are. What? Almost 6 years later.
Right.
And like I said, I really, so it's a product of just doing it. Do the thing that freaks you out.
Yeah.
You guys have heard that. Do the thing that freaks you out the most, because it probably is the place that, where the opportunity for growth really is.
Right. Absolutely.
So I know that's a little bit of a right?
But it's part of the nurturing, right? That's how you nurture, is that you've got, right? The list building is the easy part, honestly. You hire someone like me, or you figure it right. But it's it's this nurturing, and within the nurturing, you ultimately can sell. Yeah. And there's no like necessarily straight line. There's guidance, but it really is the work and the same, the consistency
for your people. And I would just add, just remember, it's really not about you. You're showing up to serve.
Right. To solve a problem. Yeah.
And it's so like people, we tend to get kind of nervous, like, oh my gosh, feeling some trepidation around that.
Right.
If you can kind of step out of your mindset there.
Right.
And just really instead like shift that thinking into, who can I help today? Who
Right.
can I serve?
Absolutely.
Right. It's just going to be so much, so
Right.
much better. So I know a little bit of a tangent, guys. Thanks for bearing with me on that. All right. So we are going to have to wrap up pretty
Okay.
soon. Before we do, let me see if I can share a screen because I do. Let's see. Nope, that is not it. Oh yeah, is this it? Yes. All right, guys. Yeah, I want to make sure just really quick, this is a visual. This is the free 3-day live event. This is my leverage offer bootcamp. So just want to let you know this is happening. Get yourself signed up. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing lots, and it's free, right? So why not? Why not learn some new strategies and tips? And the thing I wanted to share is the URL. It's leslie.vital.com/leverage-offer-bootcamp. So a little bit long, but I'm really excited. It is coming up really soon, 13 days from now. We go live, and I'll be going live every evening for 3 nights in a row. I say nights, not like super late, right?
Late afternoon.
I think we decided to start, is it 6 p.m. Central?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Whereas before we, a little bit later, but we wanted to help people out on the East Coast where that might be a tad too late. So anyway, guys, get yourself signed up. If you have any colleagues or friends who you think would benefit, please send them the URL, and I will share that again in the chat here. All right. So, and then I also want to just make sure that those of you that are interested in maybe getting some support, maybe just get an audit through Kathy and find out how she can help you to build your list of buyers. Right.
Right.
Build that list. She's great. Like I said, been working with Kathy for 10 years. Hard to believe.
I know. It's been great.
Pretty awesome. So she really can help you, and let her know where you came from, that you learned about her through this live, and she will do a complimentary audit for you, which I think is a pretty sweet deal. So any other tidbits that you'd like to share before we wrap things up today?
I mean, that's it. Like, I think, it's really about every day reaching out to your audience, nurturing your audience, to your point, serving your audience, and then growing your audience.
Yeah. Yeah. And meta ads can help with
Absolutely. Meta ads.
Increasing your exposure. Guys,
Totally.
it is a low cost way to vastly, dramatically increase your reach.
And low effort.
And very little effort.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
I mean, this kind of thing just wasn't even an option many years ago, right?
No,
So,
I mean,
just to be able to access this,
those
vast
kind of tools.
population of human beings, right? Yeah. It's pretty incredible when you really think about it. And it doesn't have to break the bank. That is the other thing I want to mention.
Yeah, exactly. You can start out small and advertise, $5, $10 a day.
Which is pretty cool. So, so reach out. Do we have what is it, Kathy Lowe? How should people reach out to you?
Well, my email is Kathy@kathylow.com, KathyLo.com. And my website is Kathy Low Knows, KathyLoKnows.com.
Okay. Awesome. Good deal. All right, guys. So we're going to wrap for today. Thanks so much.
Okay. That's great.
Can't thank you.
Reach out with me any questions about Facebook ads.
Yeah, reach out to Kathy. She
I'm happy
is
to help.
Just amazing when it comes to just helping people. So anyway, so I am delighted to have had the opportunity to share her with you all today. And guys, have a great rest of your day. Again, happy Q4.
Right.
Hard to believe. We're down to the wire. So if you want leveraged offers, let's make it happen. Now is definitely the time to get planning, get cracking, so that you can hit the ground running for sure January, right? You want to definitely like have things lined up to capture, the January, the New Year's resolution, right? Okay, so all right, so we're gonna end it for today. Thanks again, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.